In what started last year in this company that you thought would never make it to this point, that was bound for glory to be reborn back to TNA, proved it was anything but hard to kill. We now approach a mecca of a new era with a groundbreaking interpromotional multi-year deal. But before something new begins, we must first witness the genesis. Welcome, everybody, to the discussion. This is TNA and expect NXT this Sunday. Genesis, and this is City Predicting 2025, the kickoff. Let's freaking go, folks. Hello, everybody, and welcome back once again to Simply Predicting TNA. I am, of course, the Simple Man, Noah Foster, with, of course, a wonderful panel of great friends, predictors, and wrestling fans. I have the Renegade Wrestling JJ Williams, Dwayne Atkinson, also a proud member of the Simply community, had been part of all the elites, had great scores last year, and, of course, also became part of TNA League forever. And of course, Mr. Reliable himself, Walter Cruz. We're going to have a great discussion. I'm sure it's going to bleed into the groundbreaking news we heard earlier today. Good to see everybody once again in the chat, whether you're a newcomer, first timer, continued follower, or returning to maybe restore back to your glory across Predictions Leagues, as I will host all 5 leagues again this year, and we kick things off in 2025 with TNA. CJ, Emmanuel, Charles, Safet, got his name right. And Lily, good to see you. Hope everyone enjoys the conversation. Please subscribe, comment, tell a friend. If you want to dictate the conversation, please use the PayPal link. Support my friends, support their pages in the description down below, or super chat, as simple as that. Matt, good to see you. All right, now that I got the initial shows and my excitement out of the way, let's get everybody else's thoughts before we get right into this. Because I know time is still very limited because priors with passions, some of us has work in the morning. Me. But I'm crazy. I don't know about these guys. Dwayne, it is so good to have you back on City Predicting. It's been a long time, my friend, but I know you've been participating. A heck of a way to kick off the new year, I would say. How you feel about TNA Genesis? Good to see you.
It's 2025. No, I got to do this one time. Hi, guys.
Hi, guy. He's not the learning tree.
I'm not a learning tree, but I am super excited. I wasn't looking forward to this pay-per-view, but the announcement that was made today, yeah, I had to be part of this panel. This is going to be something great. I'm looking forward to it. Look to see what everybody has to say about it. It's going to be a great prediction share. It's going to be a great year. I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, simply put, I love that energy, and it's great to have you part of the Sit Predicting panels once again, where I hope to span out to get more people, whether, again, you're shy, you just want to be off camera, you have a voice, you have a passion for wrestling, would absolutely love to have you part of the conversation. I'll even negotiate you with scale. If it works out in my favor, I might even start doing special one-on-ones or even, ping-ins. Who knows? We've been expanding out into other spaces as well. Speaking of other spaces, this gentleman below me, one of the hardest working gentlemen that I've come to know, God bless him, he has definitely been a proud friend, supporter, participant across all the leagues, and also been a heavy foundation in predicting. He is the one only renegade of wrestling, JJ Williams. And once I do my line, he'll tell you what, of course, he always says and what his thoughts are. JJ, it's good to see you once again in 2025 on City Predicting. How you feel about TNA Genesis?
Well, Noah, it is good to be seen.
There it is.
And to Emmanuel, really quickly, absolutely, man. Feel free to super chat.
Absolutely. Ding.
So, bing, there it goes. But
say his name.
It's the beginning of the year. It's my first time watching Impact for 2025. If we're being real, it's the first time I've watched probably since around Bound for Glory, just because priorities over passions, as you always say. I was working a lot of Wednesdays and Thursdays, and now they're kind of shuffling the schedules up. And hey, I'm free. I was home to watch Impact today.
Hey.
Some things I enjoyed, some things that I question. The number 23.
It's just a number. It's just a
fantastic number. Movie, by the way. Joel Schumacher directed. Jim Carrey stars in one of his more serious roles where he becomes obsessed with the number. Check it out if you've never seen it. I know you're not a movie guy, but it might help you as far as where the storyline is going. We'll have to see. But yeah, man, I'm thoroughly looking forward to Genesis. I'm looking forward to seeing if there is a new TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Dolph is not the TNA's champion, but Nick Nemeth is.
Yeah.
Um,
You understand that a little later. Continue.
but yeah, it's things are going to be very interesting moving forward, especially with the huge announcement that was made today. You know, which I did do a space on. For those of you that don't know, Twitter has spaces. It's a way to connect and communicate with fans. Think of it as like a radio show. You know, the Extreme Mayhem back in 2002 before it became XMV type of thing with Jeff and his crew. But I'm looking forward to getting into this talk. It should be interesting.
Yeah, and that's putting it definitely politely. And that being said, before we get into things, of course, JJ is always reliable in his opinions and his video reviews. But speaking of reliable, here's the man that's been the most reliable ever since we rechristened ourselves to Super Reliable Studios. And he already is still working as I speak, too, yet he is still here. That goes to his credit. He is his gimmick. It's not a shtick. It's a way of life. Yeah, and we respect it. But, dude, if you're tired, okay, don't burn yourself out. Walter, it's good to see you back once again. It's a predicting. How are you? How you feel about TNA Genesis?
I'm doing good. It's good to see everyone too. I'm looking forward to it. It really is a Genesis, a new beginning for the company. I'm so glad I call it, you know me, I call it the company, the little engine that could. That's what TNA was, because it just, I think it just keeps going. And every time you think it's going to die, it finds a way to come back. And I'm glad it's got to this point, and I'm looking forward to it all up and down the card.
Yeah, got a little bit of everything. We got something to expect. We don't know what to expect under certain company expectations.
Something!
Something! Damn it! I'm sure the comments are going to go crazy on that, too. They've been following the Saturday shenanigans. And I know we're also going to probably bleed in not only predictions, but maybe what ifs when it comes to that groundbreaking announcement, of course, that I know we're going to dive into, especially courtesy of ding, ding, ding. Emmanuel, say his name and he will chat. He, of course, wants to give congrats to TNA NXT. It's actually called NXTNA, but I appreciate that regardless for furthering their partnership. And yes, I also applaud both companies in this groundbreaking announcement where I once again encourage how much collaboration breeds so much more than conflict and self-internal confrontation. But that being said, I know we got a lot and something on our minds to say in out of the chat. So again, folks, your opinions matter too as we talk about these matches. Let your opinions, of course, be known in the comments. I will put them up on screen. Stay tuned for the forum. I will talk more about that at the end of the video. It will be available in the comment section once these streams conclude. Come tomorrow morning and also on my social medias. But without further ado, gentlemen, Sleep Predicting Community 2025 Sleep Predicting League's launching party. Let's get right into it. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the first pay-per-view on Western soil for professional wrestling. Damn it, TNA. It is the return of TNA Genesis. TNA Genesis will be presented exclusively on TNA Plus for TNA, not only TNA subscribers, but anyone that buys this pay-per-view, but you also can buy it on Trailer TV. It has an 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this Sunday night, folks, January 19th. Please plan your budgets and your times accordingly. It also starts off with a kickdown hosted by Busted Open at 7 p.m. Standard Time across TNA Plus platforms for subscribers or for those that are looking at TNA Plus for the first time. And it also does involve a kickoff match with, God bless it, hell. Let's go ahead and, you know what? No, I'm not doing that. I don't know necessarily if Jay Chung's going to be there Sunday. She did her last bet tonight, but I know one person that will tell me exactly who the gentleman on the left is. And this is the only match in the countdown. So, JJ, go ahead and introduce him.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is the coolest wrestler around. The king of TNA, Frankie, the future Kazarian. And the future is now.
Still not my king until he actually has a crown to wear, damn it. But to your point,
Wouldn't that make him the present?
Yeah, right.
The future is now, and the future looks good.
Yeah, and we'll see what his future looks like after he goes one-on-one with Leon Slater, who got a tremendous win against Trent Seven tonight. on TNA Impact. But yes, it is Frank Kazarian, the winner of the Call Your Shot Gauntlet last year at Bound for Glory, with a guaranteed TNA World title shot anytime he wants, up to 1 year, going 1-1 against Leon Slater. I believe this is the third time now he's been involved in the countdown shows back to back to back. And so far, he's kept the streak alive ever since losing, I believe it was back at, Turning Point, which I know surprised everybody. But that being said, Leon Slater, he is one of the youngest rising stars on the TNA roster. We've talked a lot about this guy. And again, tremendous show of fortitude and will against Tread 7, surviving the 7-star Lariat and the Birmingham Hammer, and putting down the former member of Mustache Mountain, the former Rev Pro British Heavyweight Champion. But again, we look at TNA Genesis. It is truly the beginning. In the beginning, you finish the sentence. This defines what TNA's landscape will look like and who you should follow for this year to championship glory, and who you may need to believe in as we talk about another person later. I'm not saying his name right now. All right, so let's go around the horn and get everybody's thoughts. For those that don't know, City Predicting goes like this. I get somebody to pontificate and give their initial prediction impressions on a match. Based on the size, we usually agree or disagree. Since this is a 4-person booth, everyone will get a chance to get their say on each match. Walter, we're starting with you on this one. Do you have Kazarian getting the better of Leon Slater here, or does Leon Slater maybe start the year off with an upset? And maybe Leon Slater is a guy to watch out for. While Kazarian says, in this business, you got backstabbers, you got liars, you got traitors. I'm a guy that can take Leon Slater to bigger things. Have you looked at Kazarian's track record lately in TNA? Just saying. But Walter, what you got to say regarding the singles match? You got Leon Slater or Frankie Kazarian?
I have Leon Slater only because of something I think that's gonna happen later with Kazarian. So he can put Leon Slater over because of what happens later on in the evening.
All right.
And I'll leave it simple as that.
You better not be cooking what I think you're cooking, Walter. I'm gonna hate you, bro.
There's always that thing when I start with somebody here on City Predicting, somebody else is like, dang it, if he said what I said. But that being said, all right, so there's our opening ballot. And I see the chat right now is also going with Leon Slater, which I find quite interesting. Ben Atkinson, welcome back to City Predicting. What do you got to say about this first match? Do you got Leon Slater or do you got Frankie Kazarian?
Once again, somebody takes my thoughts. I think I know where Walter's going with this, and I agree with him 1,000%. I'm going with Leon Slater.
JJ, do you have anything further to have regarding that? He's cooking. Look at him. He's cooking.
Cooking with the Renegade.
Nope. I was thinking Leon Slater also. I wasn't thinking... I was thinking Leon Slater also. I wasn't thinking about Frankie cashing in the main event. But damn it, Walter, now you've put that out there into the ether. So
that's how it all starts here on City Predicting. And so far, one match in, it is unanimous with the panel because I agree too. I think Leon Slater is going to surprise me, someone to watch out for, because at the end of the day, Kazarian is a TNA OG for those that have not followed TNA ever or may have forgot the original TNA class. Of course, Frank Kazarian, a former, you see the title and JJ's screen, 6-time X Division champion, but he's never won the big one in his career. Last chance he had was literally a couple years ago in one of the damnedest matches, remember, with Josh Alexander, we'll talk about later, and he failed. This could be his moment. This could be his year. This could be finally where a king is crowned because he actually dictates when the coronation happens. It's just a matter if he gets to execute and if he executes it at the right time. But for right now, yeah. So far, everybody, you're on point. Yeah, I go with Leon Slater. All right. Well, that was short, sweet, and easy. Now I know things are going to get more complicated as we keep going, so let's keep going. Again, folks, remember, the forum will be live. Come tomorrow morning, across my social medias, and all the comment sections down below if you want to be part of the TNA League. And figure to those, on average, about 70 people since I started these TNA leagues have been part of each year. Shout out to the previous champions, my friend Paul Mead, Scott Cater, and Joshi. Maybe this year can be y'all's year. We'll see. I literally beat Joshi only by 2 points. That's how unpredictable TNA could be sometimes. So again, everybody, be sure to get your predictions in there and be part of the fun as the Renegade reboots his device because Mother Nature is a bitch. Speaking of bitches, anything but elegant. I said what I said. Damn it. How annoyed am I with this Pee Wee Herman reject And these Barbie dolls! Damn it! Sorry. Look hot in the collar. It's Spitfire defending the TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Championships. You are looking at Danny Luna and Jody Fret defending against, that's not Charlotte Flair and Charlotte Flair 2.0, Wish.com or Temu, folks. That is Heather Reckless. And you remember Dana Brooke from WWE? Yep, that's Ash. Say hello to Ash and Heather by Elegance with the personal concierge. Yes, I know. I hate him too. All right, so simply put, Spitfire, they have been the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Champions now for 126 days, ever since beating the system as the Renegade reboots himself. They, unfortunately, have also had wins and losses in singles actions, respectfully, with one half of this team. Both members of Spitfire beat Heather, but Ash beat both members of Spitfire in singles action as well, which brought us to this tag title bout. Previously, the last time we saw these four men in action against each other, it was that 8 knockout showcase 4-on-4, and the tag champions alongside the TNA Knockouts World Champion and Jordan Grace got the better. All I can say about tonight is that we know that Spitfire can destroy cardboard. Are these two as fragile as cardboard? You tell me. Or plastic. Maybe the silicone that Ash is made of. But that being said, Spitfire has 2 defenses. Sorry, did I say it out loud? They beat Carly Bright, Kendall Gray, and they beat Rosemary when DQ. This will be the 3rd defense. Dwayne, you start this one off here. Do you have new TNA Knockouts for Tag Team Champions, considering what this could maybe lead to down the line when it comes to these titles and who could go after them?
Yes, I do. I do believe we're going to get new women's titles, only because every time I bet on Spitfire, they disappoint me. But that's not the reason. It's time. I see they're finally doing something with Dana Brooke. Sorry, I'm going to call her Dana Brooke. To me, she's always going to be Dana Brooke.
That's fair.
She challenged the TNA title and failed, but you know what? She has really brought herself up, come up with a new gimmick that actually works for me. This is a hard sell for me, but I'm putting it. They're going to be the women's tag team champions. That's just, I mean, it's time for her to get some real gold for her. She earned it. She deserves it. You know, that's just me.
Okay. Well, that being said, JJ, I know you have a different name for former Dana, and I'll let you say that if you want. Because here, folks, I am unmonetized. I am not censored. I am also unscripted, and everybody can express themselves how they wish without any sort of repercussion or banning, as long as it's within jurisdiction of, simply put, critical opinion. That being said, it is one of those things that Heather Reckless, to Dwayne's point, JJ, she did just sign last year, one of the newest crops to the TNA Knockouts roster. And despite what we want to say about Dana Brooke, quote unquote, since she became Ash by Elegance, it really has been a reset and a launching pad on her wrestling career, to the point she did challenge Jordan Grace and Masha both respectfully in 2 knockout bangers after the worst knockouts match in history against Jessica Havoc and Under Siege. We try and forget about that. So that being said, let's see if we have a different opinion. JJ, do you have new tag champs, or do you think Spitfire puts the Barbie dolls in their place, back on the shelf?
I'm with Dwayne. I have new tag team champions.
Wow.
As much as I can't stand timeless Dana Brooke,
There it is. Not quite so
I've
bad.
started looking at her the same way I'm always coming down on you about AJ Francis. Ever since coming to TNA, she's reinvented herself, and she's, whether we like the gimmick or not, she's doing some great things.
Mm-hmm.
It's not her time to be Knockouts champion, but I think the only reason Spitfire got the tag titles back was because they needed a babyface team to move them to Ash and Heather by Elegance. You know, Spitfire is a great team. I love them, but what have they done? They had Lars from Rancid, co-sign them, bring them to the ring, and then he disappeared. Like, if they still had him as a part of their gimmick, even if not every week, I mean, hell, they work 3 days a month?
Give or
Dude's
take.
such a huge wrestling fan. He can't be there for a pay-per-view and the TV tapings immediately after, and then maybe miss the next set of TV tapings because he's on the road with Rancid. Like, come on. If you want to be there, you can be there. I get TNA doesn't have the biggest budget in the world, but hey, now that there's a new partnership, that may change.
I hope it does, personally.
But like,
Mm.
they've done nothing really with Spitfire, and I think that's a damn shame. What I want to see is some team from NXT get the Knockouts tag team titles, since there's no NXT women's tag team titles and the Knockouts division is struggling with tag teams.
You're reading my mind. Continue.
JC Jane and Jasmine Ninks, perhaps, to go
Oh,
with
you did.
Alan Henley's NXT North American title. I'm just saying, there's a start. There's your point A.
I mean,
We
it's
can
complete
go
opposite
from there,
of
but
you.
that would be heel versus heel. But I think we can make it work because it's the invaders versus the establishment, regardless of which way you go.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
But yeah, I've got new tag champions. I think it's time we got some gold around Ash's waist to match the platinum blonde hair.
All right. Fair enough. I understand where you're coming from, both of you, when it comes to, again, the growth and development of Ash by Elegance ever since arriving in TNA, and maybe she's expected to get gold at some point. But for now, I'm going to say no. Kind of going along with what you said, though, about NXT, I think it could be a different side of NXT that could come in and challenge Spitfire. Again, you look at Spitfire's previous defenses, it was against NXT talent. I think they are the ones they're using right now towards that. Let's call it what it is, what Triple H said last year at the SummerSlam press conference. Figured it I'll say it for the clip. It's one of those things where it's like, get the reps in to help fine-tune the superstars, the wrestlers of the future. And if they can work with other companies, they're happy to do that. They welcome that because it's good for everybody. Again, ever since Triple H started this Paul Tracy Beck era, it's been good for the entire wrestling business. Whether people still think there are some questionable decision-making process or not, which always will be the thing with WWE. But for me, I mean, Unholy Union, you named one of the teams I was thinking about there with Fatal Influence. I mean, correct me if I'm mistaken in my TNA knowledge, wasn't there a beautiful trio that literally put the entire Knockouts division in their place, all at one point holding gold? I'm just saying. That being said,
sir.
I think
Let the pigeons loose.
Thank you. I don't know if I go that far. That being said, Elvis guy probably copyrights that.
Hey, I know Walter will co-sign with me. Jasmine Ninks has got some pigeons to be let loose.
Shut it. You shut it. You shut it. That being said, good grief, JJ. You freaking idiot. But that
Stop me when I'm telling lies, Noah.
I'm not a lie
God.
detector. The chat could be the lie detector tonight, all right? They can say no lies detected. But I'm
Yeah,
going
I heard
to
that lie before.
I'm going to say the tag champs do retain, and I do hope they take on a team from NXT, whether it's like Carmen Petrovic and Kalani Jordan or Soruka shows up again, because we've seen Soruka here before, and she's with another bright, bubbly up-and-comer, Owen Sinclair. Maybe find somebody underneath her catch point type tutelage underneath the no corner catch crew. Yeah, there you go. I think there's still more you can do with Spitfire in interpromotional tag team showcasing, to the point they might lose the titles to team from NXT than with Ash and Heather by Elegance, who already celebrated before the fact. I say chance retain. Well, Walter, where do you stand?
I'm in agreement with everybody. I feel there's new tag champs, and honestly, I feel like they're going to use the Knockouts Championship kind of like a replacement of the NXT version of the Women's Tag Team Champions, because there is no Tag Team Championship in NXT specifically. The women's main roster are going to keep the tag team titles, and there are going to be several NXT tag teams to go over to TNA and challenge for those titles. It's going to like serve as a replacement for the NXT's tag division, so they're not always going to the main roster. Like, I feel like you got an explicit opportunity to do that, so because now the women can go after something else. So I feel like they need to do that. Like, I feel like that's a good thing to do. So, but yeah, these are new tag team champions. I'm sorry to say that Spitfire is going to be extinguished.
Good
Ash
point.
and Heather by Elegance versus Lash and Jakara at Vengeance.
No,
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 no, no,
no, no, no. You are going to get a rant out this world from me if that happens.
no,
Come on, call
no,
that match.
no.
I will boycott this division if that happens. I
I don't
swear
care.
on my.
They're
No
they're
legend.
main roster bound, guys. I'm sorry, that's my opinion. No, it ain't gonna be
All I
like
know,
like like Noah or whoever said it's gonna be somebody lower Carter like Soroka and Tatum Paxley or just two people put together to challenge for the tag titles.
is with this new relationship, it doubled my chances of seeing Lola Vice and Jada Parker on more than one show. So I'm happy.
Uh,
That's what this is all about. That's what this is all about. There
I
it is.
stole Walter's coffee mug.
I
I'm
Right,
surrounded
Lee?
by.
I
Right,
would
Lee?
definitely put money on that match right there.
Yeah, I was about to say which one you go with. The last time those two went 1-on-1, this man almost had a heart attack. Those two are not going to be tagging again anytime soon, bro. But anyway, dadgummit, bro. All right. Well, let's go ahead and keep going. And JJ, you're on the bubble for this because with Genesis, there may be a new beginning, but with Moose, he guarantees a brand new X Division championship. But is it inevitable that he will not be the one holding his own title? Let's go ahead and talk about the standard of TNA in its existence, the division that truly is about no limits. It is the cornerstone of TNA and honestly the ones that steal the show. It is the inevitable one. Ace Austin, former two-time tag team champion, former two-time tag of the year and three-time tag team champion, and also a previous X Division champion. Last time he won it was literally at Bound for Glory in 2019. It was his first time. And last time he had it, he hasn't been X Division champion since 2022, since losing at Ultimate X. But Moose kind of swayed his opinion, saying that you're on the singles run with Chris Bay injured. You want to go after, the easier target. You don't want to face the tougher opponent or for the better championship. And it got under his skin. And Ace Austin does not like what Moose has become in the face of the X Division. Moose has now been X Division champion for 82 days, 6 defenses, including against Kushida. And come Sunday night, guys, Moose is presenting us with a brand new X Division championship title, whatever that means. All right, JJ. On so far, when you got new tag champions, maybe Genesis is literally saying the landscape. We talked about new beginning. We've seen before titles change hands across the entire night in TNA, much to our surprise. Let's be in the most unpredictable company right now in the wrestling business. Do you have a new X Division champion with Ace Austin, or does Moose continue to be the guy that holds the X Division hostage, especially with the fact he's presenting us with a brand new title?
I'm curious to see what happens with this new title. I feel like that's the key. Is it a brand new X Division championship belt and it's still going to be the X Division title? Or is it going to be the Legends, Television, Global, whatever championship that goes through 500 name changes?
Yeah, right.
I'm not wanting that. If it's a brand new X Division championship, okay, cool. I'm always down for a revamp. I mean, granted, I'm always going to love the classic, obviously.
Duh.
But I'm not hugely a fan of the version that they have now. So, but after that 5, almost 6-minute video package of Ace Austin tonight, how do you bet against him?
Mm-hmm.
They set him up for the Cinderella story just for Moose to then crush him. So I don't know here. My heart tells me that we get a new X Division champion. The rest of me says Moose retains. If I have to bet right now, and granted, we have until what,
7 p.m.
4:30? Yeah,
7
okay,
p.m.
7
Eastern
o'clock.
Standard Time, Sunday night.
I'm gonna go ahead and say we get a new champion.
Okay.
New champion.
All right. Got a little bit of a different order here. We're going to go counterclockwise. Dwayne, I mean, Moose, he beats people like Bailey for this title. I'm just saying. And look at you with the finger up. What are you doing?
Go with Walter because I'm undecided and I'm kind of gathering my thoughts right now.
I respect that. All right, Walter, you just been past basically the puck. So, balls in your court, as they say in sports. What do you think about Moose and the fact that he's kind of been, pretty much Grand Slam at this point in TNA? I mean, if he loses the X Division Championship, at one point Moose said no Scott D'Amore, no Moose in TNA. Now here he is, and now TNA is partnered with WWE, where people might finally get what they've been asking for, and Moose versus Obafemi, maybe for even greater prize for one company, just saying. But that being said, Moose right now still holds what is currently known as Division Championship. Looking to maybe force this into his own identity, not even knowing what this title looks like or what it's going to be called. What do you guys say regarding this match on Sunday?
Well, first thing, I'm still gonna put that in the ether, man. Obafemi's in the Rumble, so is Moose. You throw him out and you start working that angle. But
right. You slow down. We have to get to there first. You slow down.
Vengeance Day is 2 weeks after the Rumble. There's no reason why it can't happen and then cultivated Vengeance Day, Noah.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough.
Who?
But
who?
I like peace in my house, so I'm just gonna agree with wifey there. She thinks he's gonna get the sympathy win, and like, especially if you watched Impact, that damn package that they gave Austin, like, who was cutting onions? Like, god damn it, like they did a real good job with that, and it's like makes me go, shit, he might get this title, and Moose is good at putting people over. Like, you can say what you want about him, and he's won every title over there. But when it's his turn to put someone over, he does a damn good job of it. And this is a heart versus mind thing, because I don't want Moose to really lose, because I want to see how far he can push this X Division, because he said it. I want this title because I'm going to pretty much change everyone's mind. These aren't his words, but it's pretty much what he was implying. He's going to change his mind, what everyone thinks the X Division is, and flip it on its head and like revamp it. So I kind of want to see how far he can take it, but I think Austin does it with his partner being as hurt as he is and everything, and he's still got the GoFundMe and everything. I think they take advantage of that, and he gets the sympathy win here.
All right. Well, Dwayne, I'll help you with this because here's a counter argument. I do think Moose retains. Again, you literally said yourself, he's trying to take this X Division Championship or division, what it's been known as for the last 23 years, how fitting, to a different level, and he's bringing out his own championship. I think Moose is trying to reinvent what has been the X Division. Whatever that means, I have no idea. But again, he also said, not about option C, trust the system. If he's putting this much stock into TNA, where the system has owned TNA since coming back to those three letters in life, there's no telling what Moose is going to do this year with the new beginning that TNA is on, starting at Genesis. Again, we don't know what the future holds for the system or TNA, and it might involve Moose even taking this title over to NXT and calling somebody out there. So I think that Moose right now has a bigger plans in mind that involves both TNA and NXT, but he still wants to be in TNA, and the only way I think that's going to happen is if he wins and brings out whatever this title is. Whether it's before the match or after the match, I don't know. But one thing's for certain, I think, for me to believe in out of this. I don't think the X Division is going to be the same way again, but I do think Moose is retaining. After all, Ace Austin, at one point, he was inevitably going to be called to be the youngest TNA World Champion. Who's to say that's not still on his mind, especially if we believe what's going to happen in the main event, which throws the entire main event scene into an open disarray. Maybe a little bit of cause and effect for you, just saying. But I say Moose retains. It's going to be a hell of a fight, but I don't think Moose right now is transitional with what we're currently calling the X Division title. Afterwards, suspension of disbelief. All right, Dwayne, you're the only one left. It's 2-1. Where do you stand?
I'm torn
I
between
love
this
that.
match. However, I like what Walter said about Obafemi. But my thing is this: Obafemi not one somebody that I had in mind. With this new TNA NXT partnership going on,
Yes.
I had an idea of what might happen, but Noah kind of changed my mind on this one. I do believe Moose is retaining, but I want to see him. I had originally had it a certain way, but I kind of think it might be Moose shows up on NXT one night and challenges somebody from NXT, and who do we get? Somebody that's they've been wanting to fight each other on social media. Have you seen it? Trick Williams. I want to see
Ooh.
him and Trick Williams. He'll come up there and accept Trick Williams or Moose's possibly open challenge match and whatnot.
I like it.
Because Trick Williams already says he doesn't know what his future holds right now. So, you know, we should possibly see come Tuesday night. I don't know. But my predictions is Moose is retaining.
I also want to just put this out here as well. With NXT more often traveling the road, they're also going pretty soon to a stage that TNA knows very well. Center stage, Atlanta, Georgia. Things could go down there. So again, I love that though. But hey, I like it. 2-2. A little bit of partisan. And we've been talking about Trick Williams a lot since he lost the NXT championship. Some people think he's going to be put up in the main roster, maybe tease at the Royal Rumble. Some people think he's not ready. I more lean towards that. So it's one of those things right now where I think the whole identity and foundation of NXT can be shaped with the influence of TNA in this interpromotional long-term multi-year deal that now has been literally set in stone and across the entire world of social media and literally presented on TNA's website. But yeah, either way, whatever Moose is creating out of the X division, what has been and what he wants to become, I think Moose has to win in order for it to happen. So Moose retains. All right. Well, that was fun. Let's go ahead and switch gears now to a match. I think that's going to be more one-sided, whether or not something gets involved in it. Something! That might remain to be seen, but maybe this might be for telling the future when it comes to the system, whether you trust in it or whether there's changes coming to the tag team division. Walter, let's start with you on this. What do you guys say regarding this grudge match that really came out of the fact that two men are fighting on behalf of a fallen friend, and the other two, they're trying to remind you what happens when the system works. It's the system, Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards, with Felicia Edwards in the corner, taking on Eric Young and Steve Macklin. Been a lot of rocky roads here with these two on the right, but they, of course, have mutual respect for one another, and tonight they beat First Class on TNA. While the system, of course, ran roughshod last year, like I said, these two are literally TNA Tag Team Champions 2 times over for losing to the Hardys at Bound for Glory. And this really stems from the fact that the system injured Jonathan Gresham. So Eric Young and Steve Macklin are looking for revenge. In what started last year with the system coming out with all the gold in the end, including Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards becoming TNA Tag Team Champions, no titles on the line here, but they could literally put themselves back in title contention with a massive win. So, Walter, who do you think gets the better here in this mutually speaking tag grudge match?
I love the Eric Young Steve Macklin duel. Like it started off as a rivalry. They gained respect for each other, and they out of mutual respect formed a tag team. But every time I go against the damn system, they somehow fucking find a way to prove me wrong and win a goddamn match. Like I hate it. Every time I bet against the system, they somehow find a way to win, and it's like, damn it. And then the one time I did pick them, go figure, that's when they lost. Like Brian, it's like, god damn it, every time.
Your
But
worst enemy.
yeah, exactly. But and for that reason, I'm just gonna pick the system because damn it, I'm tired of betting against them and then they freaking smack me in the face and end up winning anyway. So I say Brian Myers in the system, and it's because of the Jezebel on the outside of the ring. She's gonna find a way to protect her husband. She's gonna find a way to freaking be that bitch that's always interfering in anything. And now on the outside of the ring, as much as, and we're gonna call it, and I know you hate when she sticks her damn nose in every damn match that they're involved in. but
Accurate.
she's gonna do it again, and somehow the system pulls away. By hook or by crook, they win.
Yeah, well, apparently Walter trusts the system, at least the system works. Also, damn you. That being said, let's once again do what we did before, and I like the crisscross idea. JJ, what do you got to say regarding this? And let me ask you, in the new year, do you finally trust the system, or do you still have a little bit of suspension of disbelief in them?
I will never trust the system. Period, point blank. My question to you is this, since it's been so long since I've followed, how long have Eric Young and Steve Macklin been a team?
They've had a couple of tag team outings ever since that mutual one-on-one back last year at Victory Road in September. But as far as actual tag matches versus trios matches, probably less than 10 total.
Okay. I don't see them splitting up yet, so I don't see them losing. I feel like we have to get them a couple more wins before they can lose, split up, and then start feuding with each other. Because that's going to be the inevitable. And I see that possibly happening at Rebellion, leading into Slammiversary. So I say that Eric Young and Steve Macklin get the W here.
Well, Dwayne, to that point, it was literally shortly after Hard to Kill, the first preview of TNA last year. Frank Kazarian turned on Eric Young when they were a tag team, the representative OGs, damn you. And we see what Kazarian has become. Now he's got a chance to TNA World Championship anytime he wants, while Eric Young is still leading his own path and endorses Macklin as the future. Macklin, a former TNA World Champion himself, but we also know he's a hothead. And we've seen Eric Young and Steve Macklin go to war, quite literally, against each other. Now they're once again going back into tag team battle. So that being said, maybe not necessarily if you trust the system, but Dwayne, do you trust that Eric Young and Steve Macklin can coexist and get the win?
For what it's worth, this match doesn't mean much to me. I don't really care nothing about it, so I'm just going to go with what y'all say. Eric Young and Macklin winning. I'm waiting for Macklin to turn heel, though. He's a better heel than a face to me, so.
Okay, that's fair.
Honestly, I feel like EY has climbed into that category as well.
True.
Granted, he used to be the goofy character back in the olden days. Back in my day, Sonny. But ever since he kind of became unhinged, he's become a much better heel than he is babyface. So it really can go either way with them.
Well, except with Super Eric. I did enjoy that part.
Eric was literally once violent by design, trying to cleanse whatever disease was affecting what used to be called Impact Wrestling. Just saying. So, I mean, again, you're not far off. But right now, I agree with all of you. I don't trust the system, but I understand where you're coming from with that cheat code. But I do think that Eric Young and Steve Macklin are going to get the win for now. I think that we are going to get another sort of system reboot in a way ever since that ring ceremony they all did. But I don't think it means that the system is going to kick off this year all winning. And again, I think JJ said it perfectly. Without Moose, the system fails, period. So I'm going with Eric Young and Steve Macklin for the win. All right, well, that was pretty short, sweet, and simple. Let's go ahead and get a little bit more serious because while we're talking about new beginnings and TNA and NXT, there very much might be something ending here when it comes to what you call the standard of TNA. Because we're going to find out who truly deserves to be called that and who's going to be humbled by the other. Because what turned into an I Quit match tonight, it's Josh Alexander versus Mike Santana. Josh Alexander, the record-holding TNA World Champion, who, of course, lost that title due to injury and has not gotten it back since, but still believes he's the standard of TNA. And Mike Santana, who literally took a system down all on his own, including moves last year at Bound for Glory, he's hell-bent on getting the TNA World Championship and still believes he's on a collision course for that. After going through the Northern Armory last week, only for Josh Alexander to basically, take the cheap way out. And at the point that we saw his Northern Armory attack Mike Santana at Prestige Wrestling, saying that he's unable to compete, he's injured, Mike Santana called out the pride of Josh Alexander, and this match has now become an I Quit match. So in the first time ever one-on-one encounter, somebody has to force the other one to say, I quit. And considering Jay Chung just called her last Impact show tonight, is that foreshadowing when it comes to who truly has been the standard of TNA Impact Wrestling since 2017? Good luck, everybody. That's the question to you. All right, so let's go ahead and see what y'all guys say regarding this. And this one goes right back to you, Dwayne. With Josh Alexander's future very much unknown, and Mike Santana on this new lease on license coming back home last year at Rebellion, who do you think says I quit?
The only reason this match makes sense to me is what you just told me right there. We don't know what Josh Alexander is going to do, whether he's going to resign, is he going to leave the company, or what. But, I mean, dude, Mike Santana has totally impressed me since coming back. I had very little hopes that he would probably do anything more than just, a mid-card level. But, dude, he's bringing it big time. Despite what the main event might be tonight, we'll talk about that. But I will put my money on Mike Santana on this one.
All right. Well, that being said, JJ, Mike Santana, we've pretty much have only known him as a tag team specialist, proud and powerful in AEW, and of course, previous member of LAX, Elite Express, former recognized TNA tag team champion, has really come into his own as a single star again since last year coming at Rebellion, beating Steve Macklin. He's beaten Moose. He was once deemed the most dangerous threat by the TNA World Championship, and we saw how far Josh Alexander was trying to literally hold Mike Santana away from becoming a contender at Final Resolution last year. I don't think he still knows how to tie a zip tie, but that's a whole different conversation. So that being said, do you agree with Dwayne here? Does Mike Santana make Josh Alexander say, I quit? And does Josh maybe say, I quit on more than just this match?
Yeah, I figured that Santana was going to take this one even before it became an I quit match. But if rumors are to be believed, Alexander's contract expires and he becomes a free agent on February 15th, which is the same day as Vengeance Day. It's also the same day as Grand Slam Australia. So we could see the Walking Weapon debut for either company on that day. So what makes sense? Does it make sense for him to win here or to lose? Well, the obvious would be for him to lose.
Right.
But we have our first live Impact in 8 years in 1 week.
Yep.
Ironically, on the 23rd, the number 23 that appeared.
It's just a number.
I don't think it has anything to do with Genesis. I think it has to do with that show, but that's just a whole other conversation.
Oh, no, I agree with you. I've been thinking about that, but please continue.
So if we know Alexander has to lose on his way out, where is it more effective? On a pay-per-view where people have to spend money, whether they buy it on Triller or TNA Plus, or to have him put Santana over on the first live show in 8 years? That's what's going in my head right now. Because if next week's show wasn't going to be live and wasn't going to have that monumental feel to it, absolutely have Alexander lose here. Have him say, I quit. Go out next week on the taped program, put Santana over, right off into the sunset. But next week is live.
Yep.
Call me crazy. I have till 4 o'clock my time on Sunday. I'm going to say the Walking Weapon takes it here. And we get another match at the live show next week.
Well, Walter. Walter, we've seen before I quit matches necessarily protect people in defeat because we've seen dubious means, including a cell phone, used to an opponent's advantage or incapacitation to make sure that even if they don't say I quit, their body quits. So with the fact that we know Josh Alexander has a Northern Armory in Sinner and Saint, and this being no disqualification, that could come into play. Do you think that JJ is kind of right here to consider that this escalates beyond their first ever one-on-one encounter? It's not just a one-up despite the stipulation. Maybe it does lead into a, I don't know, number one contenders match on the first live TNA in 8 years come Thursday as you're thinking 23 is just a number, just a number, just a number. Maybe more than just a number.
Or a steel cage match, because I feel that's the only place you could go from here.
How fitting.
I would say 6 sides of steel, bring that back, but not for one night.
No. But, I mean, again, if Mike Santana wants to put Josh Alexander on lock, that's one way to make sure you keep out Sinner and Saint and sell this once and for all. How many times does Steel Cage solo a feud in your NXT? Just saying.
Couple
on TV?
Times.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I'm just putting it out there for both men and women. But again, what do I know? I'm just a wrestling fan. All right, Walter, I know we just made your brain even more, but guess what? I'm putting you on the spot right now. And I will say to help just maybe or cause his brain even more friction, JJ, I blame you if I lose this point. I actually do agree with you. I think Josh Alexander bamboozles his way to be called the winner just for a little bit longer since he's still around till mid-February. So in a favor of 2-1, Walter, who do you have winning this I Quit match? Josh Alexander or Mike Santana?
Damn it. Before JJ opened his mouth, I was 100% going with my Boricua brother, Santana.
Mm-hmm.
But God damn it, he made a compelling argument, and it just makes more sense to do that.
Sorry, not sorry?
Yeah. It just makes a hell of a... Plus, the walking weapon is just... He's known for submissions. He's known for the I Quit. Santana was... Before this, he's from the hood. He's from the street. He's known as to be a brawler, but he's not known for submitting and making people quit. Like, this match favors Josh so much that I almost feel like it'll make Santana a bigger star to be able to beat him at his own match, because it almost seems like it's meant. But I feel like you guys are right about the whole live thing. If it wasn't for that live thing, I would be so confident Santana's going to win this. But now I'm going to go with Josh Alexander to agree. You guys convinced me. I was going to go with Santana, but I mean, it just makes more sense to do it on the live. Get the rematch, put him over live, and it'd be more, pun intended, impactful.
There you go. Yeah. Just something to think about, Dwayne, while you're the odd one out here. Just something to think about. Again, I love how polarizing TNA always is when it comes to pay-per-view, even without a title.
But where did JJ wind up in the predictions league last year?
Well, that's fair.
No offense, JJ.
But I did better in the TNA and the AEW ones than I did in the WWE ones.
True.
This is accurate also.
True.
I was top 10 in both. I want to say I was like number 5 in AEW and like number 7 in TNA.
Yeah, you were.
I think I was top 3 in TNA.
You were top 3 in TNA.
Fair.
So shout out, by the way, to the TNA greats that participated last year. Kubat Litu, Big Underscore Space, Kimberly, Mark, Ashley, Christopher Roach, Jeff Chadwick, Big G, who, of course, teased his debut. Of course, Jerry Slaughter, who came super close, by the way. Please follow him at Armbar. I hope everybody comes back in the leagues this year for TNA, and I hope also to see you all amongst the other leagues, and maybe even part of simply predicting. All right, so that being said, that was a very unique conversation. And again, we saw y'all in the chats and your comments too, so maybe we've also made you think about now, does it make more sense for Josh Santana to get the win? I mean, he incapacitated Steve Macklin while he was zip-tied in a submission where Macklin couldn't even verbally say he gave up at Bound for Glory. His body quit on him. Who's to say Josh can't do the same thing now that he finally learned how to do a zip tie? I don't know. Just saying. All right, but good stuff, guys. Let's go ahead and move things over now back into title contention, where we look at one extreme to a whole different extreme. But this extreme features a dream for one team. Smoke them if you got them, or get fully loaded. Because the TNA World Tag Team Champions are on the line as the Hardys go up in traditional pure tag team action against the Rascals, Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz, who, of course, previously held these tag team titles. We've, of course, seen the Hardys return home. They won these titles back at Bound for Glory in Jeff Hardy's own crazy, enigmatic imagination creation, Full Metal Mayhem, that I saw live. The Hardys, of course, are now 3-time TNA Tag Team Champions with 2 defenses in, both against the System. Walter and I called that tables match at Final Resolution. However, the Rascals, they have beaten Laredo Kid and Leon Slater. They have beaten the Good Hands. Sorry, JJ. They previously were TNA Tag Team Champions for 55 days back in 2020, feuding with the ABC. And most recently, we saw them at Final Resolution beat PCO and Semi Callihan. And he wasn't there. Alex Hammerstone, of course, injured. But they did beat Jake Something. Which, of course, led the Rascals on this new rise to go back after the Tag Team Championships against the Dream Team they idolized. Tonight, the Hardys were able to overcome Sami Callihan and PCO. It's just a number. It's just a number. It's just a number. Again, the 23 thing. Only the 23 shows up for PCO and Sami Callihan. Where's the connection? Someone tell me that. But anyway, they were able to pin Sami Callihan after a swanton bomb, and I guess PCO got a little bit injured on the outside. So we have a straight-up tag title bout. So, that being said, JJ, it's on you now. JJ, do you have TNA World Tag Team Championships changing hands the start of this year in what's a dream match for the Rascals, but does the Hardys continue to be the faces of the TNA Tag Team division?
Hardys are going to win this one. I mean, I proposed this earlier today, and that's assuming the other team makes it this far without breaking up. But then again, every time we thought they're going to break up, they win and stay together.
Including against the team you had them to beat, the OTM.
Hardys, Fraxium, ladder match, stand and deliver. Both sets of titles on the line.
Oh, fuck me. Bill, sign me up for that one.
Yeah, take my money. I'm ready to call that. That
way you get the Hardys in NXT, WrestleMania weekend, ladder match, helping get over new talent. Just chef's kiss for this partnership. Hardys win, Hardys retain.
All right. I literally love that idea. And I keep wondering with the fact now that we have NXT and a truly official for the long term, how close are we to the Worlds Collide? Just saying. And you might literally have called a marquee match for that there instead of a stand deliver. Personally, I would take a Worlds Collide over stand deliver. I'm just saying.
That's another thing that I pitched, but I would say save Worlds Collide for later in the year, especially since WWE doesn't do a December pay-per-view, and have the joint branded thing come December. Not replace Deadline, but in addition to. I also said have an Evolution 2 pay-per-view and have it cross-branded with the Knockouts and the NXT women.
Yeah, you're giving me a fever dream as a professional wrestling fan. Just saying.
Bring back the name Armageddon and do it in December, and it's the end of the world. You have every match is a crossover between both companies.
Is it World's End, Walter?
Pretty much.
Or Worlds Collide, just a whole different name of an old school name that I actually prefer. I like that a lot. All right, but that being said, as far as the present goes, he has the Hardys retaining this Sunday against the Rascals. And again, it should be a unique match. RVD Pride's going to approve. Walter, do you have new tag team champions changing hands? Again, this is a normal, if you want to call it that, normal tag title match, quote unquote. I know, Jeff Hardy, I'm just saying. Not extreme on paper or on the marquee. But do you have the titles changing hands? Does the Hardys retain?
Anything involving Jeff Hardy is not normal.
This is accurate.
Yeah, the champs retain. Like, you talking about Hardys came home. They're going home back to WWE on NXT with these titles. And they're showing up somehow. They keep bringing it up too. Matt and keeps bringing up wanting to have that last final run in the E, as they call it, and Jeff has too. He doesn't want that bad taste in his mouth of how he was released in 2020, which his test came back negative. So whatever they accused him of, he didn't even do. So it's kind of a preemptive firing, just like someone else that was just proven innocent as well. So Maybe not jump the gun every time somebody's accused of something. I'm just saying.
Hey.
But yeah, Hardys are retaining. Damn, it's this news. This news is so affecting everything that's going to happen in Genesis. Just the fact that they released this news, and how smart is it to do it right before a big pay-per-view on Sunday? Because how many more extra buys are you now going to get? Because what if somebody from NXT shows up right here in Genesis? So like that was the smartest thing to do. So
Yep. Simply put, yep. Well, Dwayne,
exactly.
JJ triggered your brain in excitement for WrestleMania weekend, so I feel like this question is a no-brainer because right now it is unanimous. So, do you believe the Hardys retained as well?
Parents listening, turn the volume down because I'm about to go a little R-rated on this one.
Oh,
Number one, my pick, of course, the Hardys. I never vote against them. JJ brought up Hardys versus Fraxium. Something in me moved on this one. But what I want to see, bring the Hardys, bring Faxium, add a little DIY to that mix.
oh.
Yeah, something kind of stood up, So, yes, I want to see this. Will it happen? Probably not. This is this is a TNA NXT partnership. I know how it goes, but you know what? A lifelong Hardy fan. We're from the same area in North Carolina, so of course I'm always going to vote Hardy Boys regardless. So.
Guys, gotta stick with that turf. I respect that, and it's just one of those things right now. DIY are so founded in ladder matches and Extreme as well, and that would make sense. We saw them on NXT. Yes, I did see NXT. I do actually go look at the NXT highlight clip on YouTube because NXT is the brand that matters most to me in WWE. Once again, congratulations. That being said, yeah, it's just for me right now. The Hardys feel like they are the ones to lead the tag team division in TNA, and then put the next team over. The Rascals, they had their moment in the sun. There's already a dream tag for them, and it's not even Extreme. Who's to say they can't get Extreme from here? You guys literally just booked a triple threat ladder match where all the gold is on the line, and that could be somewhere very soon down the line. So, again, it's just one of those things right now where this excitement of NXT NA being such a longevity thing, case in point, has us already figured about that major interpromotional event, not match, event happening for both these companies sooner rather than later, unless you're JJ, who says December, which again, in a way, makes more sense. But for now, we all say the Hardys retain. All right, good job, good deal. Now we're going to get into some serious shit. Time to talk about the premier women's division that's always been the alternative on the planet. Although this women's division in NXT right now is definitely getting a run for their money still to this day. And one of these two is about to tell us right now who the fuck is the knockout to deal with in TNA. Let's fucking go, folks. It's Jordan Grace versus Tessa Blanchard, 1-on-1 for the second time ever. Oh, Jesus. The heat here with these two. I'm just ready to call this freaking slugfest. These two are going to beat the shit out of each other. Okay, but in all seriousness, Jordan Grace was literally the face of TNA and the Knockouts particularly. She was the first one to truly show this idea of NXT becoming a thing and what it could lead to. Of course, she was previous TNA Knockouts World Champion for, get this, 287 days last year with 18 defenses, beating Trinity at Hard to Kill last year in January. Only to lose it to, who we're talking about our semi-main, Masha Slamovic. However, a ghost of her past says, if it wasn't for me and you beating me, you would have never been able to do any of those things. Tessa Blanchard is back, folk. Diamonds undeniable forever. She lost to Jordan Grace, though, in TNA Knockouts #1 contendership after she lost her first and only ever TNA Knockouts title to Taya Valkyrie back in 2019. However, shortly after that, in 2020, she went on to become, of course, the TNA World Champion, beating Sami Callihan. Held that title for 165 days before she left TNA in 2020, and now she's back. So, again, this is one of those matches you have to consider that whoever wins this will be literally leading the Knockouts in some way, shape, or form across this NXT-TNA relationship. Rumor, speculation galore about Jordan Grace aside, look at the match Sunday night, but also look at the fact that Jordan Grace just planted Tessa Blanchard tonight with a juggernaut driver in the middle of the ring. So, everybody, good luck with this because shit's about to hit the fan when these two are about to collide in the TNA ring. And guess who gets to kick this one off? Dwayne, it's you. Dwayne, who you got winning this TNA Knockouts, let's call it what it is, grudge powerhouse bout to claim at the TNA Knockouts locker room, and TNA for that matter, once and for all. Jordan Grace or Tessa Blanchard?
For me, it's simple. You got one coming in, you got the one going out. You know, Tessa.
It does seem like that, honestly.
Basically, I'll always put money on Tessa Blanchard. I was always a fan of hers even before then. I mean, I don't care about, controversies in the past or behind the scenes of what she's done. I could care less. The girl's a hell of an athlete.
Damn right.
And her stepdaddy is one of my biggest all-time favorite wrestlers of all time. So yeah, I'm always gonna go with I'm going with Tess on this one.
All right, simply put. Well, again, Walter, it's one of those things where we talked about Tessa Blanchard on the Saturday Shenanigans and the fact that she is back here in TNA. But now with the fact that we have this NXT TNA, imagine the type of matches you could have now with Tessa Blanchard colliding with the women of NXT, while she also might go back after the TNA Knockouts World Championship. I mean, you're literally being the face of the Knockouts here. I think that makes you number contender for the TNA Knockouts World title sooner rather than later. Or maybe a women's title, just saying. So,
her and Zarya.
Take my freaking
wow.
mind. I saw Delta versus Jordan Grace in Australia. I think Tessa Blanchard versus Zarya, that's a whole different animal. Although I wouldn't mind seeing Jordan Grace versus Zarya ran in NXT.
True.
Just saying. All right, well, let's go to you next on this. What do you guys say regarding this Knockouts grudge bout here? Is this Jordan Grace's swan song for real?
If Nick Nemeth's opponent wasn't Joe Henry, this would be my fucking main event. I'm telling you right now. Yeah. I gotta go with Tessa. I mean, just the history. I think she gets her win back. And I think she beats Jordan Grace. And like everyone says, Jordan Grace is on her way out. I think she's Royal Rumble bound. I think the E's calling her, and I think, matter of fact, she probably already signed. Just like when I said Punk was signed, and everybody's like, "You crazy? He ain't signed yet. You read the rumors. Who the hell was right?" I told you guys he had signed when he said. I was like, that's why the shit got quiet, and people were like, "Oh, they're not negotiating anymore." And I came on here and I said, "You don't need to negotiate when you're already signed." So she's E-bound, and she's gonna do the right thing and look at the lights on the way out. So Tessa gets her win, but this is gonna be a big. This might steal the night. Like, I understand Joe Henry and how much we love him and everything, but this match might steal the night. It's women's professional wrestling, and it's fucking TNA's knockout division. Like, that is the division. So, god damn it, it's got to be Tessa.
All right. Well, let's see if JJ can spin a narrative on this somehow for this to maybe go into the live show on the 23rd. Or does he actually believe this truly is one and done, and Tessa claims her spot back in the Knockouts locker room as the bitch to be reckoned with? JJ, what you guys say regarding Tessa Blanchard's return match home? Does she win? And does Jordan Grace leave the TNA Knockouts locker room to her and her alone?
Yes, Tessa Blanchard takes this. No, this doesn't carry to the live show. Because if rumors are to be believed, and I preface every time when I say something like that,
which you should,
because I don't always buy into the rumors. But if rumors are to be believed, Genesis is Jordan Grace's last hurrah. She won't even be at the tapings next week. She's going to have the Genesis match. I don't even think we see her on NXT these next couple weeks. She goes from Genesis to Rumble to main roster. She's not going to NXT. She's already done her appearances in NXT.
True.
She's familiar with the WWE Women's Talent. She's familiar with the WWE style. She's familiar with the WWE filming.
Yep.
She goes straight to the main roster. And with that, I won't call it knowledge because I'm not an insider, but with that high probability, sign me up for Jordynne Grace versus Rhea Ripley.
Please.
Sign me up for Jordynne Grace versus Bianca Belair. Find out who truly is the strongest in the women's division. The Juggernaut versus the roughest, the toughest, the strongest. Yes, please.
Exactly. We saw the tease of that during the Royal Rumble.
Jordynne Grace versus Raquel Rodriguez.
I think there was something to do.
These are all feuds that can carry her through the year. Give Jordynne Grace money in the bank. Let her cash in and take the title away from Mommy.
I mean, I'll just take anything versus Rhea versus Nia Jax. I don't need to see the never-ending story again.
There you go. There's another one. Jordynne Grace versus Nia.
Yeah, give me something different. Seriously. God.
Yeah, let's see her do the Juggernaut on Nia.
Exactly. That's a lot of weight to push down on its neck, but I think Jordynne Grace can do it.
And I want to put something else out there because I know there's a lot of people that are down on Tessa because of what she did and what she didn't apologize for.
The past.
And especially now the WWE is working with TNA officially, and people that may think that there's no chance in hell of Tessa crossing the line. One of Shawn Michaels' idols was Tully Blanchard. I'm just throwing that out there.
Exactly.
So the opportunity for him to work and cultivate with his daughter, especially when we've still got Charlotte Flair lingering around. I mean, she was at New Year's Evil. She was backstage this week taking a picture with Lash and Jakara, saying she wanted to be in a bad bitch girl group. I'm just saying, we get Tessa and Charlotte.
Sign me up.
Been waiting for that for a long time, JJ. I've been
Sign
waiting
me up. Sign me up.
Natalya and Tessa. The opportunities are endless.
I'd say Charlotte and Tessa just because of the name value and where their daddies came from alone is enough to sign me up on that one any day.
It's legacy wrestling this generation. It's a main event in itself based on the pedigree of family represented in the highest degree of women's wrestling. Damn it. Come on now. It's not rocket science. And don't give me that spiel that Jeff always does. There's no money matter involved in this. We're talking about the biggest money maker right now in the world that's got more money than know what to do with.
Exactly. And Lee, I see you. I'm going to be coming back to that when we get to Masha Slamovich.
Well, how funny you mentioned that, because I think it's safe to say that we all agree that Tessa Blanchard gets her win on Jordynne Grace, and whether it's a mutual embrace or a handshake or truly a walk-off or a shoot piss off and she rucks out of the building trying to run roughshod for everybody except Tessa Blanchard, that remains to be seen. But the bottom line, Tessa Blanchard for the win. Diamonds are forever. And I'm very curious to see what that means going forward for Tessa Blanchard back home in the TNA Knockouts division. I'm excited for this match, though. This is probably my third most excited match of the night versus, of course, the title that I hold to the highest degree across all of women's wrestling, not named the AEW Women's World Championship or the NXT Women's Championship. And since JJ suddenly talked about it, why not give it to Kim to start things off, especially because that champion was on your brand, I believe, this past Tuesday night, if I remember correctly. Just saying. But I wonder what you will confess when it comes to these two that literally have no problem not absolving each other's sins, but encouraging it. Thanks, Raven. Because these two crazy bat motherfucking hardcore bitches from hell are going in a Clockwork Orange House of Fun match for the TNA Knockouts World Championship. It's Masha Slamovich versus Rosemary for the second time ever. The last time these two went one-on-one, Rosemary did get a singles win, but it was on Explosion. Does that really matter? To me, it doesn't. Rosemary, though, admitted that she has not been the TNA Knockouts World Champion for literally, get this, folks, 8 years. Last time she was champion was 2016 for 2017 for 266 days across 8 defenses, beating Jade. You might know her as Meechum. Back in the Impact Wrestling days, why Macho Slamovich created and completed a 2-year crusade, beating Jordan Grace last year at Bound for Glory for the TNA Knockouts World Championship, and has currently got 5 defenses under her reign at 83 days, including a ridiculous 2 out of 3 falls match with Jordan Grace and a falls count anywhere, which she called Walter at Round Resolution with Tasha Steeles. The fact of the matter, though, that you guys have been, well, Jade in particular, talking about a long time how Rosemary and Winnie Chu could be tag team champions. The last time we saw Rosemary, she put Winnie Chu to sleep permanently and now has set course to go after this title. Thanks to Raven, that kind of encouraged her to say, are you scared? Are you willing to go how far you need to go to get back at this championship? Well, Clockwork Orange House of Fun means you can do whatever the fuck you want with barbed wire, steel, mesh, and there's no consequences. And how fitting you got a former GHC heavyweight champion in this match as well. And that woman, by the way, happens to be carrying right now the TNA Knockouts World Championship, folks. Okay, JJ, it's on you. And considering we saw Masha Slamovich in the crowd on Tuesday watching 2 women particularly in action and likes what she saw, according to a post-match short, courtesy of the TNA, let's call it what it is, Chief Operating Officer Shawn Michaels, I do wonder what you have to say regarding who wins this and what it could mean next for the premier women's championship in the business. So go ahead. Who do you got?
All right. Everybody
All
seated?
right.
Because I'm going to cook here. It's going to sound a little convoluted. It may sound a little overbooked, but I'm very glad that you brought Wendy Chu up because she has not been seen since Rosemary put her to sleep.
Correct.
On any show.
Nope.
And now that they're back working together, now that the partnership is official, Wendy Chu costs Rosemary the match, allowing Masha to retain. Cora then comes out after the match, after what went down on NXT this week. And then at Vengeance Day, we get Masha versus Cora. After, of course, Masha appears in the Rumble, much like Jordan Grace did last year as the Knockouts champion.
I see what you're doing.
This year, Jordan is in the Trinity Naomi role as the new signee to WWE from TNA, last wrestling at Genesis. And because both women know each other, they start a little something in the Rumble, much like Jordan and Naomi did last year. We're going to have a full circle moment here. We're going to go back to Rosemary Wendy Chu. We're going to set up Masha and Cora Jade. And who knows? Maybe in the interim, just because she's Cora's BFF, before she makes her official journey to the main roster, maybe we'll get Masha and Roxanne as well. You're welcome.
All right. Well, that was a 5-star quality dish. That doesn't need to be on Iron Chef America to get a chef's approval. So that being said, good luck, everybody. Simply put, for I am the simple moderator, and this is about encouraging y'all to express your passionate opinions and predictions. Well set up, by the way, JJ. I am going to simply say, Masha smash, and Masha will retain and bleed for it and be happy about it. Because she confesses, she's a crazy bitch. And I love it. I dig crazy chicks. All right, guys.
Me
Follow
too.
that shit. Respect. Let's just go around the horn here. Keep it simple. Dwayne, what do you guys say regarding this TNA Knockouts World Championship match? Again, Masha Slamovich, she beat the Juggernaut, so she is now the force to be reckoned with. But Rosemary, they are the anomaly that TNA has had to deal with in its own bizarre way since 2017. Whether it fell at a K, whether she got screwed in Monsters Ball, whether she destroyed people inside 6 Sides of Steel. Hello, Gail Kim. So what do you guys say regarding this TNA Knockouts World Championship match? Does Rosemary fade away and fall in the shadows? Maybe take it back into her own nightmare by Wendy Chu, courtesy of what he said. Maybe Cora Jade does get involved because let's keep in mind, Clockwork Orange House of Fun match, folks. There are no rules. What do you guys say regarding this match, Dwayne?
Clockwork Orange House of Fun match. Now I know TNA has had, I think, 2 prior to this one, and I can't remember the other one, but the one that I can remember mostly and fondly was Raven and Sean Waltman.
Yep.
Where he threw Sean Waltman right through that cage door and just fell right out. That was, to me, I think this here has the opportunity to be match of the night, possibly, even though it is 2 females. But, it's easy to call, but, it makes me kind of wonder. Rosemary's done her time. She's done everything there is to do so. But I like the fact that she hasn't been a title in, what, 8 years?
Yep.
But, I mean, I can't go against Masha Slamovich on this one. I mean, JJ kind of got me going with Winnie Chu and all, but, just they could possibly maybe do a one-on-one between those two. But when it comes to this, I mean, I gotta go the safe bet and say Masha wins it.
Okay. I mean, that's mutually fair. And again, we saw Masha. She scouted Cora Jade, who won. But I think Kalani Jordan was also aware of that presence. And Kalani Jordan's been looking for her own reset since losing the NXT Women's North American Championship last year to Fallon Henry at Halloween Havoc in that underwhelming gauntlet match, but still a great moment for Tessa Price to represent. Okay, Walter, we close this one out with you. What you guys say regarding the TNA Knockouts World Championship and Masha smashing Rosemary to the point she can't return the light to challenge for it again for the near future, I would think.
The last pay-per-view Rosemary fought, I said Wendy Chu would come back, and I was wrong.
Yes,
I think JJ's right about it this time, and Paxley's always looking for somebody to play with her dolls, and her crazy ass was involved with Wendy Chu and before. So she might be involved in this too somehow. So I think Masha retains. It's going to be a crazy ass match, but I think it's more about the story between Wendy Chu and Rosemary than this actual match. But don't get me wrong, this is going to be a freaking banger. Like, I love that the 2 women matches are so awesome on this pay-per-view. And I hope they're nowhere near each other because I don't want one to outshine the other. Please,
That's
separate
my fear
it.
as well.
Yeah. Please separate it with enough space so that we can enjoy both of them. Because if you make it back to back, one is going to outshine the other. I don't want to know. I can't really say which one would outshine the other. I feel like people be like, "Oh, predictable is boring." Predictable doesn't necessarily mean boring. Yes, it's pretty predictable if Masha's going to retain, but we don't know how she does it or to what lengths she has to go to retain. I think this is going to be one hell of a match.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I've said this verbatim. You could clip it. Predictability in wrestling is not a bad thing. Damn it. Quote, unquote. But that being said, we've also said this about TNA, particularly, Walter, and you even confirmed and approved it last year. TNA probably has the best booking of their pay-per-views and premium live events, period. Not only when it comes to the order and the pace, but the navigation between both the men's and women's rosters without one really overshadowing the other. And there's pretty much a good balance of insane what the fucks and incredible in-ring wrestling with some good storytelling and subtle enhanced engagement with backstage promos with Gia Miller, who, of course, we signed with TNA. But yeah, it's one of those things right now. You look at both these matches are going to have so much more for not just the Knockouts division and the NXT Women's division, but women's wrestling in general this year. There's a reason why the show is called Genesis, folks. Genesis represents a new beginning. We are in for something special ahead of the Royal Rumble, and whatever TNA does in February, because to JJ's point, yeah, Vengeance Day is in February. I don't know what TNA show is going to be in February. Usually that's No Surrender. They haven't made anything official yet till March with Sacrifice. It's completely up in the air. So, yeah, it's a matter of what happens afterwards to all four of these women that really compels why this is the genesis of TNA and this division, damn it. And I freaking love it. All right, well, that being said, we've had a lot of great talk, engagement, some polarizing discussions, some fun what ifs when it comes to this new long-term standing and ex-TNA relationship. But now it's time to get serious. It's time to really break things down and really try and figure out what the hell is about to happen here and what do you all believe in. And Dwayne, you're back for a reason. I know that, and I'm damn sure putting you on the hot button for this because you deserve it. Welcome back, my friend. Let's go ahead and talk about the main event for the TNA World Championship. It is the Watson man, Nick Nemeth, going one-on-one with 250 pounds of pure motivation. The answer to all life's questions, he is more than just a viral moment. He has literally worked his ass off for this business, 12 years in the making, says he has to win this. His name, if you believe, once and for all, Sunday being the new TNA World Champion, is Joe Hendry. Damn it!
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
All right, let's fucking go. This is where we get serious, and I don't want to necessarily be talking about somebody not on this graphic, or you're going to get a rant that might get us canceled off the internet. Dwayne, good luck. It's on you to start this off and set up the precipice. On TNA, he has to win this, but we saw what happened when Joe put his hands on his brother. Who leaves Genesis, the TNA World Champion?
Agree. I agree with you wholeheartedly, but there's 3 letters in this match that really has me concerned. JBL. The one that cost him the title last time. I truly believe it. But I believe in the man. There hasn't been a match, I think, last year that I did not predict against him at all. This is not going to be another one as well. This time, it's his time. Joe Hendry, new TNA champion.
All right. And Tatilla, thank you for that. Please follow her at Razor Wrestling, where it's wrestling time, folks. Shout out to my NOLA fellow TNA friend, Tatilla. It's good to know, by the way. That being said, all right. Hey, look, there's Joe Hendry below me, so I figured it's only fitting I save him for last to speak. Walter, it's on you now. I know how many times you bet against certain predictions and matches, and it bit you in the ass. Is this going to do it again? Does Joe Hendry finally fucking win the TNA World Championship, or is he denied again, and maybe for the last time, where you might no longer believe in him? Is he still motivational enough to you that you believe he can be the TNA World Champion? Can he handle that pressure? Can he achieve that moment? Is it his time?
Well, what counts in the prediction is who leaves with the title. So with that precipice, the answer is neither one of these two leave with the damn title. Because yes, Joe Hendry is going to win. Yes, he holds the title for about 4.5 seconds because Kazarian's going to cash in his damn opportunity and ruin Joe Hendry's moment because it's in him. That's when he really goes from the future to the present. He can't. I think it's Kazarian finally says, "Fuck that! I'm taking my opportunity. I'm winning this damn title for the first time in my career." And JJ and Jeff get to go crazy because I'm telling you, at the end of this, neither one of the two on the graphic have the damn title because Kazarian walks away with that damn championship.
I pray to God you are wrong. And I'm not talking about wrestling god JBL.
And
which I
he's
do
gonna
think is
wait
gonna
till
show up.
everybody's clapping. His song played for about the 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and he's gonna go, "Whoop! Time for me to ruin this shit."
Yes, I see your hand. I acknowledge you, Dwayne. What you gotta say real quick?
I forgot about Kazarian that quick. I already had it in my mind when we were first talking about it. Can we possibly see a replay of WrestleMania 33, 32, where maybe Kazarian comes in and cashes in and makes it a triple threat match?
31.
31, exactly.
Not a bad
Mhm.
idea, but I think it's better that he ruins Joe Henry's moment because you finally give the audience what they want. Joe Henry, yay! Yo,
So-
woo, we believe in him, and he took that shit away because you can't put that past Kazarian. It's in his nature to do some shit like that.
So
I-
pretty much we're going to get Roman Reigns winning the title at Survivor Series and Sheamus cashing in.
Based on what Walter's trying to book, yes, and I've seen it done way too many times. But here's another thing I've also seen. I've also seen TNA pleasant surprise us, leave with a moment, and somebody else shows up and joins the roster to set up a new narrative with a brand new champion and start their own everlasting impact. May I remind you, at the end of Hard to Kill last year, the Wanted Man first arrived, taking the new TNA World Champion into the danger zone and set out his campaign to challenge for the title later at Rebellion, which has already been announced and known. I'm just saying. And we've also seen people screw up their cash and then not get that moment. And it wouldn't surprise me that happens to this guy on Sunday night. Okay. AJ, what do you guys say regarding the TNA World Championship? Joe Hendry, Nick Nemeth, and the Call Your Shot Gauntlet winner.
Oh,
All right.
Here we go.
boy.
I've been seriously thinking about this since Walter put it in the ether earlier this evening. And while Kaz is the son of a bitch that could pull that shit off, I think you're forgetting one very important thing. Kaz is an egomaniac.
Of course he is.
Noah, hold on, Noah, where is TNA going to be on April 27th?
They're going to be. Oh no. California.
Where did Frankie Kazarian make his name?
PWG.
California. Shit.
I don't think Frankie cashes in until Sacrifice at the earliest. That way he can come in to California as the conquering hero, or he does it at Rebellion here in front of his hometown fans.
The real
fans
hometown.
that made him a name. Whether it was UPW, Ultimate Pro Wrestling, the same company where a certain prototype got his start and just talked about on the Netflix debut. The
True.
same company that took a reality television star who thought that he could make a name in the real world, taught him the fundamentals, and now he's a two-time Grand Slam champion. Whether it's EWF, Empire Wrestling Federation, which is ran by Jesse Hernandez, who has worked in the industry with many a luchador. Whether it's PWG and the effect that they've had becoming a PWG champion. Frankie wins the title here, or he comes in hot off of Sacrifice as the conquering hero. Joe Hendry gets it done here at Genesis, though, because then Joe Hendry can enter this new partnership as the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. As much of a son of a bitch as Kaz is enough of an egomaniac that waiting for that hometown welcome where he doesn't have to fly to celebrate. He can just drive. That's Kaz's style. And maybe it's just me wanting it to happen because Jeff and his dad are going to be there for Rebellion.
Uh-huh.
But I think that makes more sense from a booking perspective. Joe Hendry is your new TNA World Heavyweight Champion.
All I'm going to say is this. I have believed in Joe Hendry since before many people believed in him through TNA or NXT, or those that saw what Culture Pro Wrestling for the short time it was actually available. I followed this man's career when he was the local hero in ICW, and when he first came into TNA, making Thursday nights better. Joe Hendry is one of the most underappreciated talents, I think, for his entertainment value because he hasn't been a world champion. He's the most recognized digital media champion, though, in TNA history. And last year was the year for Joe Hendry to get to the moment. This year, he not only needs to achieve the moment, he needs to carry it. And whether it carries through Royal Rumble, which everybody's been saying his name for that damn card to the point, hell, if he doesn't show up, I'm not saying a damn word because I know you people will take it for granted and freaking will clip it. And Walter, I already see you smiling. You shut the fuck up. That being said, I've learned my lesson this year. Y'all ain't getting me on nothing. All right? Nothing. All I'm going to say, shut it. I'm just saying Joe Hendry deserves to be the TNA
name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Champion! Damn it! Joe Hendry becomes the new TNA World Champion, and I hope he decks Ryan Nemeth and JBL in the process. And Kazarian just teases it. I don't think he should cash in at Genesis because it's too good of a moment right now that he controls to squander it just out of the blue, do it like nothing at the beginning of the new era. What do you got to say, Dwayne?
Quick question. Well, not even a question. It's a statement. Royal Rumble. Y'all, everybody's talking and predicting he's going to be there.
Yes.
2 years straight, we've had a women's TNA champion show up with the title in the Royal Rumble.
Yes.
There has never been a men's yet. I can see it being Joe Hendry this year.
There you go.
And have him come in at the coveted number 30 spot.
Exactly.
Oh, my God.
Because the commentators can play it up like, we have seen everybody in this match. We've seen legends. We've seen world heavyweight champions. We've seen NXT superstars. What is there left to see? Say his name and he appears.
He could be on any show.
Here's the thing about Joe Hendry. They keep leaving Easter eggs for it. Just like when he showed up at NXT, they kept leaving little Easter. You knew he was going to wind up being Trick Williams' partner that night. And I think that's how it's going to be on this one.
No denying. You kidding me? No denying.
Mm-hmm. What role does Ryan play in this match, though?
Well,
especially after what happened tonight.
This is where I think JBL's going to probably turn on Ryan Nemeth. I'm sorry.
Ryan Nemeth plays the role of Nick's brother. That's all.
Yeah, well, yeah.
The end. Oh, and Joe Hendry beats him. The end. At least he got an extra line in his song. But, Dwayne, to that point, though, that Walter and Jada were also talking about, and also to what I was saying earlier when we set this up, just to bring it in perspective, tonight during the face-to-face, Joe Hendry simply said, I have to win. I have to win. Nick Nemeth was saying, though, that he believes Joe Hendry can be world champion, but he doesn't believe he's ready to handle the pressure of having that target on his back and carrying a company literally every possible moment. And before we could really get a rebuttal in what Joe Henry wanted to say in regards to what Nick Nemeth showed him with the John Bradshaw Layfield clothesline from hell that I saw live at Bound for Glory, not only to Joe Henry, but to Ryan Nemeth, Nick Nemeth's brother. Ryan Nemeth had to shove his nose where he didn't belong, literally talking about how Joe Henry is a crook, a snake, only cares about himself. Dude, if you looked in your freaking spray tan mirror, I'm just saying, dude, get a freaking life and break. And before we literally could get anything else, as he was hoisting Ryan Nemeth for a standing ovation, Nick Nemeth super kicked Joe Hendry. So again, is Ryan Nemeth going to be there on behalf strictly of Nick Nemeth, or to make sure Joe Hendry doesn't win to further prove his point that he believes he's more right than Kevin Owens, which I think is far from fact. Kevin Owens is more right in his argument with Cody Rhodes.
No.
That's a different conversation and storyline.
No,
And as far as John Layfield, what is the freaking point when we learn the extent of John Layfield and Nick Nemeth's relationship? When he loses the title, or when he actually maybe finally gets rid of Joe Hendry from the top picture? Maybe John Layfield thinks that Joe Hendry is the most annoying and most biggest threat to the title. Something's got to give it Genesis. Yes, JJ.
Let's also not forget that John Layfield is going to be on Raw this coming week.
What?
Mm-hmm. It's in Dallas.
Oh, shit.
Sunday night, Genesis, John Layfield. Monday night, Raw, Netflix, John Layfield.
And Joe Hendry could show up.
That is how the main roster crossovers can begin.
Well,
Liaison of John Bradshaw Layfield.
My thing is this: it's TNA and NXT partnership. Is that what it is, or is it TNA and WWE?
Technically
Because I was thinking it was NXT and TNA.
Yeah. Look at the graphic here. Despite what we got at the top and the bottom, and it said, and I read the official. Here's the thing: I don't buy the news unless it's official. You don't get more official than TNAWrestling.com and fine print. It says NXT superstars and TNA wrestling stars to further collaborate, list all the names, and all those names have strictly only been on TNA or NXT. To Dwayne's point, JJ, I think the stage right now literally just within those two.
And that's fair, but there is a quote in the announcement that says the agreement will enable talent to garner additional exposure across key WWE and TNA programming, including weekly flagship shows. Such as NXT. Yes, they officially name drop NXT. They officially specify that, but weekly flagship shows. There is no bigger flagship for WWE than Raw, and the last I checked, it was the WWE logo, not the NXT logo that appeared on that press release. Okay. So while, yes, it probably will be more so of an NXT and anything like it has been, that little gray area in what I read can lead to main roster stuff. Especially since, like I said, JBL is coming, not to NXT, he's coming to Raw. Oh. Right now, he's got the thing with Nick Nemeth, the former Dolph Ziggler, who's been on the main roster. This is how that can begin.
It's possible, with it being on Netflix as well. But I think what it is they're going to test the waters out now with NXT. If it grows to where they think it's going to be, then it probably will reach WWE main roster. I think right now, truly, I believe it's just going to be NXT only. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll say it. You know.
And that's fair because that's exactly what I expect too. But
Same.
The Royal Rumble has all brands in it.
Fair.
Masha Slamovich coming into the Royal Rumble can set up something with the main roster talent. Joe Hendry coming into the Rumble can set up something with the main roster talent. Also, main roster talent comes down to NXT all the time. So there's no reason why if something starts by a main roster talent coming down to NXT, it can't finish on the show that main roster talent is usually home on.
At case in point, Bailey and Roxanne Perez is already being teased, where it looks like Roxanne Perez is going to SmackDown, or you could have a SummerSlam program with Bailey versus Roxanne Perez. So I do understand what JJ is saying. But I also look at TNA because, again, it's the TNA World Championship. Leaving Kazarian out of the picture right now. Mike Santana, if he beats Josh Alexander, boom, he's got his bid, I think, to go after the TNA World Championship against a guy that he probably respects just as much based on his drive. You also got to consider Josh Alexander doesn't get that definitive last match at Genesis like we're talking about with the live show. Remember, Joe Hendry beat Josh Alexander with his own damn move. Josh Alexander may not be done with him yet. He might put Joe Hendry over as TNA World Champion on his way out the door instead. So I'm looking at also all aspects of this match regarding not just the title, but Joe Hendry particularly, because as far as I'm concerned, Nick Nemeth, he's already reset himself incredibly in just 1 year, and it would be probably 1 year to the day that he arrived in TNA. So I think it would be very poetic. Yes, Dwayne, I see your hand. What's up?
I don't have a question. I got a gripe I want to ask on this one. Since the partnership for NXT and TNA,
yes,
we've been getting all of the top talent from TNA on NXT.
Yes.
But to me, my gripe is TNA's only been getting the very lower bottom card of NXT on their brand. So what is fair about that to me?
May I?
You may.
I'm listening.
Okay. I wouldn't call all the TNA talent that has come onto NXT top talent. No disrespect intended by any of these names. Hammerstone, the Rascals, Rosemary. They're all good. Wouldn't call them top talent. Jordan Grace and Joe Hendry, absolutely top talent. One was the Knockouts Women's Champion when she was coming. I'll give you those. The others, not so much. What TNA is getting out of this, and I have said this 100 times. If you haven't heard me say it, I'll go ahead and repeat it.
There's a reason why I'm letting him speak.
What TNA is getting out of this is they're getting
exposure. Yep.
Access, pun intended, is hard to access on television. NXT was on the USA Network, is now on the CW Network, which is network television. And for those that aren't in the States, it's now on Netflix, which is global. Those stars are being seen in more homes than they ever could have fucking imagined. That raises their stocks because TNA talent is still allowed to go out and do independent dates. So when they go out to do shows, as seen on WWE NXT, Trey Miguel, as seen on WWE NXT, Rosemary, brings more names to the Independent Federation, fetches them a bigger payday as well because they're a more known name. That's going to bring more eyes to the promotion they're wrestling in. TNA is getting massive exposure from the deal. And the NXT talent that goes to TNA is getting what they call reps. Yep. They're getting to work with more experienced performers without working the main roster talent. By Sol Ruca going to Impact and working with Jordan Grace, she's working a top tier talent. She's working a main roster women's champion so that when she gets her inevitable draft call up, she's prepared to work with a Bianca Belair, with a Bayley, with a Charlotte Flair, with a Becky Lynch, because she's had matches now with those top last of the journeyman wrestlers that go around and work the independent dates.
Sure.
WWE developmental is in such a closed bubble that they only really work the performance center, the WWE style, and they're not exposed to anything else. Them going to Impact gets them to work with world-renowned, traveled superstars that are kind of shut down from them with not being able to get up to the main roster yet. Both sides get an even shake out of the deal. I get on the surface how it seems like, well, you know, NXT is getting Joe Hendry and Jordan Grace, and like TNA Impact is getting, you know, Brinley Reese. But you're not going to send your huge stars down there when it's just kind of a feeling out process. One of the guys on my space made this analogy earlier today, and I think it sums everything up. The last 6 months of this in 2024, from mid to late April, when Jordan Grace first showed up as Roxanne's mystery opponent on NXT leading into Battleground, through Halloween Havoc, where I feel like it kind of tapered off the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
That was the casual dating phase. We're seeing each other, but I'm also seeing these other people. This announcement today, exclusive. We are officially dating now. It's the best analogy I heard, and I think that totally works with this. Now that they are officially dating, now that they are in a relationship with one another, so to speak, come Slammiversary, if he's back at 100%, we could see AJ Styles in New York City at Slammiversary. We could see Cody Rhodes, who's had a stint in Impact, at Slammiversary. We could see a man who's looking for number 17 at Slammiversary, possibly challenging for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. And if he were to win it, then all those, hold on, you laugh. But
No,
if you were
I'm
to
agreeing
win it,
with you. I'm agreeing with
if
you,
you were
man.
to win it, all of those TNA World Heavyweight Champions that are in WWE that have never had their reigns recognized would now start getting those reigns recognized. You notice they pointed out that Penta was an Impact Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, even though he only held it for 2 days.
Still a ring.
If John Cena wins that title, I'll bet you they start acknowledging AJ Styles' multiple reigns. I'll bet you they acknowledge Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley, Ron Killings' 2-time NWA World Heavyweight title reigns. Shit that's been long since forgotten. Fucking Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones been on our television screen just neuralizing us to forget that shit.
Sure, right?
Dude, you give me Cena Hendry, you could have my money. Like, I'll give my whole paycheck.
Thank you. Can you imagine that? John Cena versus Joe Hendry at Slammiversary.
I'm just
for
gonna
the
say this
TNA
right
World
now.
Heavyweight Championship. Joe Hendry with his songs, his parodies, his rock concerts, and the Doctor of Thugonomics to diss a freestyle on him. Take my fucking money. And it's in New York, the birth of hip hop.
I love
Fuck
how
me.
much JD's fantasy booking and pulling straws in this, and yet there is actually some aspect of this being a reality because Triple H seems to actually care, even though WWE is still at the end of the day the branding juggernaut. If it wasn't for the branding part of WWE, I don't think this would be a thing, honestly, because at the end of the day, WWE is still about branding, marketing. Damn it. But
If they find a way to do that, my ass is going to New York.
It could just be a thing where WWE is so one-track minded, they're so selfish that all they're thinking about is that they get access to the TNA library and they can show footage of AJ Styles. They can show footage of Ron Killings. They can show footage of Cody Rhodes. and the machine guns on their properties now because they're in bed with them.
Mm-hmm.
It could be something just that selfish, but
Continue.
But because I've been working with this man now for the better part of 3 years, I tend to look at this more optimistically. That's why I go back to JBL appearing on Raw could be the beginning of a main roster crossover. Just think about it.
You talk about me making you optimistic. You're the one that made me more business oriented, because at the end of the day, WWE is a business, the biggest business related to the word wrestling. So for once, I hope that my optimism that literally has inspired you to fantasy book the ultimate, I will sell blank to get there, goes way beyond, it's just WWE. They're just in it for the money. Because if anyone needs money right now, it's not WWE, damn it. It's TNA. And if TNA gets anything out of this more than just that exposure, give them a boost to their production that's already fine as it is, but damn it, they deserve better.
Can you imagine the build up of the promos for Cena and Henry? I alone want to see Henry write a song for Cena.
Exactly.
Jesus God, that would be money.
So hopefully, Dwayne, that answers your question as far as what is TNA.
Yeah, I got you. I got it.
And for anyone
Just
else,
imagine
go ahead.
If the main roster women get to go to TNA and they allow TNA to do the booking of the women, what they'll do with that same roster WWE has, watch how they would book it.
I might actually fucking care about main roster WWE women's division again, where NXT is the only jack shit women's division that matters to me outside the layers of WWE.
Okay. I know we're getting way away from the conversation at hand.
Yeah, that's true.
But while we're there, I just want to throw this out at because I mentioned this on my space today, and I know if anybody in the fucking world is going to agree with me on this, it's this man right here. Now that this partnership is official, Women's Royal Rumble. The countdown occurs. The buzzer sounds, and making her one night WWE return, Gail Kim.
I could see it. I could absolutely see it nowadays. I could absolutely see that one-time return for the OG knockout, the Hall of Famer, the first TNA Knockouts World Champion. I could see it. Honest to God, I could see it. Add icing on the cake. Give me her versus Mickie James. Just a little bit of a moment in the freaking Royal Rumble.
I can see it. With no VKM, I see it totally.
And then she goes into the Hall of Fame at WrestleMania 41 this year.
Long overdue due. But that being said, we're also long overdue probably from bidding people to find that dude, because this is what happens in City Predicting when we're so damn passionate and excited about TNA, NXT, professional wrestling, damn it. But the bottom line here, we all somehow do believe to a degree, at the end of the day, come Sunday, your TNA World Champion should be, say his name.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Joe Hendry! And as long as that happens, then Genesis will be 110% a success for me. If that doesn't happen, we're going to have conversations, not on the shenanigans, but sooner rather than later.
That Joe Hendry in a pet, I'm always going to vote for him.
But look, I will never turn my back on those I commit to in this business, because I respect their growth, development, and their journey. Whether you're male or female, whether your name's Camille, Chelsea Green, whether you're the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, whether you're Dustin Rhodes, or whether you're fucking Joe Hendry, I will always believe and respect in the work you put forward to get to that spot, whether you get there or not, when I hope you get there. But when you do get there and prove everybody wrong, Chris Statlander included, she will have her moment. But that being said, yes, Sunday needs to be the night of Joe Hendry finally fucking doing it.
Well, if you remember correctly, I didn't even know who Joe Hendry was when I got him Simply Predicted. Y'all keep throwing him off. I'm like, who the hell's Joe Hendry? Never heard of him.
Yeah,
You
I'm
know,
about
so-
to say that every character fan better know who Joe Henry is after the night. If they don't know the night, they damn sure will learn come Sunday night when hopefully we are all riding him hoisting the TNA World Championship. And to Nick Nemeth, thank you, Wanted Man, but you finally got caught. As
And
you
for those of you out there that think that I'm crazy about Cena going to TNA, there's a better chance of John Cena appearing on TNA television than there is of Elmo making nice with Rocco.
Dude, wait. Put that back up. Yo, if that's the last four, I will lose my shit. Jade Cargill, Jordan Grace, Bianca Belair, and Charlotte Flair, the last four of the Rumble. Holy shit.
As long as we get a first-time Royal Rumble winner this year for the women, that's all I care about. Because as far as I'm concerned, the men is wide open, but the women, you need to impress me. Give me something. Give me a first-time Royal Rumble winner. I need something. I know that the participant list is going to be insane, but the winner,
no,
or you're going to be like, holy fuck, heading into WrestleMania.
Dude.
I'm
Here's
gonna say that for that prediction show.
That's
And
fair
even
enough.
more insane with the news from today, and it can get even crazier if the rumor of 40 people per Rumble
Oh,
comes
Jesus
to
Christ.
fruition.
Please no.
Think about how stacked the rosters are with serious competitors, and now think about this announcement today. And tell me they can't fill a 40 person.
Oh, they can
yeah,
fill
they
it.
can.
We're going to lose our shit if they do it. And it's going to be the longest Royal Rumbles in history that actually matter with the word greatest that should be in front of them. But that being said, Walter, I see your hand. What you got to say real quick?
You want this announcement, with this announcement, you want this relationship to really feel special? You have somebody win that Rumble, and for WrestleMania, they challenge the Knockout Champion at WrestleMania, and you defend the TNA Knockouts Championship at the main event of WrestleMania with the women. That would fucking put TNA over the map, like over the moon. Whoever wins the Royal Rumble goes after the Knockouts Championship.
Fuck you, Raw and SmackDown. Truth, preach, speak. I love it. I absolutely love that idea. Honest to God. Get the premier women's title of the business on the grandest stage in them all, according to professional wrestling, the mega of entertainment in the city of entertainment itself, Las Vegas. Fuck yeah, I'm for it. But again, guys, we are getting way too hyped, way too excited. And I love the fact this turned into a mini shenanigan topic because, goddamn, it deserved to be. Because Saturday Night Radio is going to be something. Something! But seriously, tonight, I think it's safe to say we're all ready to do something else, and that is close the sleeping digging out and go to sleep. So before we conclude again, folks, what are your predictions? What do you believe in? What do you think comes from this incredible, groundbreaking partnership that's been established for the long haul in and out of JJ's, you could say imagination. I could say somewhat. It could be a reality. Let us know in the comments. Follow us on social medias. Let us know in the comments down below. And thank you all for tuning in for the first edition of 2025. Again, the forum will be live come tomorrow morning on all my social medias and in the comment section too. Join the TNA Predictions League. Join these three gentlemen. Gentlemen, make sure you fill out the form. I'll send it to you all exclusively. And if anyone wants to be part of Sleepy Predicting and the discussion, the conversations, let me know. I'll be happy to work with your schedule because I think this is a hell of a benchmark to set up for 2025 when it comes to wrestling discussions, predictions, and excitement. So thank everybody and good luck to all. And thank you all for tuning in. Let's go around, do some shows, and then get to bed. Dwayne, an absolute pleasure and a hell of a return for you. I know this will be a one-off. It's great to have you back, part of the Simply Predicting fun. Everyone, where can we find you?
I'm doing good. I had fun. It's great to be back with you guys. I'll probably going to try to make Rumble predictions, depending on the scheduling situations. But
I feel like I'm going to do more than one panel with how big this Rumble is because this is the biggest Rumble since insert year here. But please continue.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Oh, absolutely.
JJ, Walter, man, it's always a pleasure being with you guys. So JJ's got my brain kind of swirling right now.
Probably fried, probably overburned, right? Overloaded. As he does.
That's what he does best, but it's great, man.
It is great.
You can find me on Facebook, Dwayne Atkinson. You can find me on Twitter, Florida Gator fan. Other than that, man, go Joe Henry. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, please. Thank you. And thank
You
you.
don't.
Name and
You
he
son-
appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
That's the last time that's happening. Who did
I,
that?
I was going to say, you beat me to it, but I was going to say, if you don't believe him, then you will Sunday.
Damn right. Well, thank you, Dwayne. Well, JJ, I mean, Degum, man, where do we go from here besides going to bed? Go ahead and talk about where people can connect and find you and further challenge your incredible imagination and fantasy booking, too. Been an absolute pleasure, bruv.
Yeah, it's always good to come on here and to discuss things with you, Noah. You can find me on socials on Instagram, the Renegade JJ Williams, YouTube Casa D18 Studios, Twitter and Blue Sky at ROWJJ Williams. I've been doing spaces on Twitter under my other account, Casa D18 Studio, no S for the studios, studio.
Ah,
I've been doing those a couple of times a week. Probably going to be doing them Tuesdays and Thursdays going forward. That way I can do them after Raw, after Dynamite. Just it. I'm going to steal your phrase, sir, but God damn it, y'all, just enjoy life and enjoy professional fucking wrestling. This is a great time to be a fan right now. And
Yes.
we say it all the time, half jokingly on Shenanigans. But in this era of pro wrestling, if you cannot find something to enjoy, get the fuck out the fandom. You're not wanted. Just go. Because there is so much shit, whether it's WWE, NXT, NXT, TNA on its own, AEW, Ring of Honor, New Japan, the list goes on and on and on. So much to enjoy
yes.
that if you cannot find something, you're just not needed in this fandom.
Something!
And speaking of my spaces, I'm actually going to be broadcasting the space that I did earlier today via YouTube through the Casa D18 Studios at the top of the hour. So if you missed it on Twitter, you can hear it on YouTube.
Well, there you go. And again,
And it almost went 3 hours. So buckle in, everyone, talking about the NXT partnership.
grab a cup of coffee, folks, and read a book if you want, and just do something casual and enjoy a great conversation. And again, God bless this man. Well, Walter, again, our work is far from done. At least we get to rest tomorrow. But of course, you and I got a hell of a show to call Sunday. And you're always busy. Always appreciate you. So go ahead, put up your graphic, and talk about what the people really should be plugging, promoting, and finding you and supporting you.
Damn.
Good grief.
Somebody
Right?
walk out and see if Lee comes down the hall to smack him upside the head again.
I think it's the first time that Dwayne's seen this graphic.
Somebody needs to put Ron Simmons coming in here and just go, damn, right out there. But
Still own that T-shirt. Please continue though and close this thing out with your plug.
I'll take that job right there. Damn.
right? But you
All
can
the
find us
gimmicks.
on the Twitch channel at the SRS 1983, Blue Sky, and the X, Walter Alex Cruz. The Instagram is at walter.cruz.940. And of course, Rage of Wrestling, the bread and butter of the SRS, the YouTube channel. So yeah, like, subscribe, comment, share, tell a friend, because we are definitely expanding. The year 2025 is starting off with a bang in the wrestling community and in the SRS studio. So yeah, follow us all.
You with
there you
Sean
go.
Ross Sapp too? I said, you partner with Sean Ross Sapp too?
Nope.
Yeah,
No,
please
Simply
explain.
Reliable Studios. We are the only reliable SRS.
I had to throw that out there, man.
That's fair. That's fair. And again, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for being part of this. Good luck with the predictions. Stay tuned for the phone to make your predictions official. Again, folks, your predictions become official 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Sunday night. Please leave your name and emails consistent throughout the whole year. As of course, I will be doing this for the whole year across all 5 major brands. Yes, JJ, I see your hand real quick.
Really quickly, will Frankie Kazarian cash in his title shot? Is that going to be an official bonus question or not?
At this point, it might as well be, because I want swinging for the future to be the present. So yes, I will make it an official bonus point on the form.
No.
Person outside, in and out of NoDQ, apparently, that gives a damn about predicting TNA, and it should be predicted more than main roster WWE, because it's far more exciting, interesting, and unpredictable. Damn it! So there you go.
So I say no officially.
As long as it's open, it should be regardless of what pay-per-view it is. It should be open for a possible bonus point.
It's a possibility. So yeah, I agree at this point, because it could happen at any time. On pay-per-view, it would be the wires will move, but that's just me. Also a bigger impact. Wink. But that being said, thank y'all again. Stay tuned for the forum. Again, if you want to follow me, you can find me primarily at Fox1916 on social medias, primarily the Creator, and on YouTube. That's where I keep up, of course, with all the prediction leagues. I keep on tune with prediction league updates. I, of course, share the forums. And, of course, the YouTube is where I share multi-streaming content here across Simple Hour Studios. Outside the HW View and Pronto, that is exclusive to my Simple YouTube channel with me and my fam, usually the KNG King, because I am nothing more but a simple man and a lifelong fan of 2 hours later. Oh yeah. Professional wrestling! Damn it! As only wish, as JJ encompassed earlier, to remind you and encourage you, there are no winners, no losers, no betters, just fans with opinions for this passion we all share. So at the end of the day, folks, support one another, respect each other, protect your mentality too, treasure your families, and God damn if you aren't doing it now, what's wrong with you? Just enjoy live and enjoy professional wrestling. It is truly as simple as that. And it also speed up, level up content. Not only will we be bringing gaming content, but also you will be tuning in on the day, I believe, of the Rumble. If we made that official, Walter, you and I will be doing our first top 10 each, our top 10 matches of the month across all the promotions and all the biggest shows. So stay tuned for more on that, folks. One of the newest forms of content is coming very soon to the Simply Reliable Studios, courtesy of Simply Reliable exclusively. And Simply Reliable will be exclusively on the call this Sunday for TNA Genesis, which again, you can watch along with us if you purchase it through either Triller TV or the TNA Plus service, either through subscription or pay-per-view separately. Please purchase accordingly, or, use whatever means you wish. Just be smart on the internet. That's all I gotta say, unlike most people. But that being said, this is also accurate. Thank you all once again for tuning in. We will see you Saturday when Survivor Studios picks up the shenanigans with coverage of AEW Collision Maximum Carnage, and of course, something! Kick-ass karaoke. Damn, it's been my existence. Hosted by the regular wrestling J.J. Williams. But until then, I think it's safe now to bid you all a fine adieu. And thank you for tuning in for the first of 2025. For Walter Cruz, J.J. Williams, and Dwayne Atkinson, so good to have you back, brother. We all believe in Joe Hendry, but we also want to remind you, as always, make a positive impact in life and have a good night. Let's fucking go for the kickoff of this new era. TNA Genesis Sunday can't come soon enough. And we hope that you all continue to be part of the leagues and the conversations. But for now, have a good night, folks, and thanks for tuning in. Oh, my God, I cannot wait for this show. I'm so damn excited. Joe Hendry for the win. God bless it. He deserves to be champion. Oh, damn it.
He appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Yeah, I realize I did that on purpose. Fuck me.
Bye, guys.
Almost dead enemy. Every time I can't stop myself. Always with the freaking post-credit shenanigans. Dadgummit. Pain of my existence.
Bye, guys.
All right, seriously, I'm pushing the button. Thank you all.
Thank you.
That's huge. Enough of gimmicks. Let's stop with the gimmicks, all right? Non-copyright. Grief.